All right, GT350 owners, got a question for you. I've been having trouble getting my 2016 GT350 to pass the, well, I call it the bogus emissions test. There's nothing been modified on the car, nothing has changed. I took it to the inspection place 3 weeks ago and they hooked it up to their state computer and they said, oh, it fails. And I said, well, what do you mean it fails? And they said, oh, well, the inspection monitors are not ready. I said, well, wait, what's the deal on that? And they said, oh, well, the state has changed the rules now. They said all your little IM monitors on your car have to have run and they all have to be ready and no errors and all this. And I said, well, you know, what's the procedure there? Oh, well, you should take the car out and race it on the freeway, they said. I said, I don't think this sounds right. So they said, well, drive it some more and then that'll make the monitors work. So I drove it around for 3 or 4 more days, you know, stop and go traffic, freeway traffic, took it back. Nope, sorry, still fails. So wasting time and doing research on it. Apparently these monitors only run at certain times and they only run at certain speeds. And if you look it up in the Ford service manual, the criteria is ridiculous. They want you to drive at 60 miles an hour for 5 minutes and then slow down to 40 without using the brakes or shifting gears, and then they want you to do this 5 times and then you're supposed to let it sit overnight for 8 hours, and you're supposed to do this multiple times, and then somehow all these monitors will reset. I also noticed on the state computer they do not have a listing for the engine that's in this car. This is the 5.2 liter. All they have is a 5.0 or a 5.4, and when you try to type in any other numbers than that, it won't accept it. So I'm thinking maybe that's part of the reason why it won't pass. But anyway, I took it to the dealer. The dealer says, oh, it won't pass. Well, what do I need to do? Oh, well, drive it out the freeway like 10 miles or so and bring it back and then it'll pass. So I drove it out the freeway and came back and they said, nope, still won't pass. So I took it over to the service department. They said, nope, won't pass. And I said, well, what are y'all looking at anyway? And they said, well, your monitors have not completed their little self-diagnostic test, therefore it won't pass. I said, well, there are no error codes, there's no check engine light. Yes, we know that, but the state says if all the monitors haven't run and they're not perfectly okay and saying ready, then your car doesn't pass. So I called the magic Ford 800 number, got a case going on this thing with one of the regional service guys. And he said, well, take it back to the dealer again, let's try this again. So I went back, talked to their service manager, talked to the service guys, and they said, oh, let's go in the back and talk to the state inspectors. So we went back in the shop. State inspector comes out and he looks at the car, he goes, oh, the car's been modified, that's why it won't pass. And I said, no, excuse me. I said, I'm the original owner. I said, it only has 1,000 miles on it. It should pass. Nope, you modified it. I said, well, prove it. It's never been modified. He goes, oh, well, then the previous owner did it. So I said, well, what part of original owner don't you understand? I said, I ordered this car, took 6 months to come in, came into this dealership. It had 2 miles on it when I got it. I'm the only owner, and it has not been modified. Guy says, oh, I'm sorry, it won't pass because you modified it, and he walks off. So, of course, I was ticked, and so I asked the service manager, I said, what do you think we should do? And he goes, well, why don't we reflash the PCM? All right, so they did that. And he says, drive at 50 miles. Well, I've driven at 60 miles, and I've done the freeway thing, and I've done the slow driving and driving through the school zones and stopping and starting and all that. Still won't pass. I checked it last night with my OBD2 code reader, and it says not ready. That's what these guys are going on. So I'm curious, any of you other GT350 guys have this problem? Of course, these cars they're just coming up on 2 years old, and I don't know why the state hasn't updated their software to recognize the engine, but that may be the problem. And it may be this IM monitor business is doing this on a lot of cars. I'm not sure. But if any of you GT350 guys have had the same problem, put it in the comments here. Let me know. And the Ford regional guy said, yeah, this may turn into something, you know, might be a recall. Who knows? But anyway, I'm frustrated with it. I've been messing with it for 3 weeks. No luck. It still says not ready. Can't get the car inspected. And this is just totally bogus. You know, I got a perfectly good car, I'm happy with it, and then the state says, oh, can't drive it anymore, it's defective. And so they've already sent me the rejection letter in the mail, which I tore up and threw away. And it says, oh, sorry, you won't be able to register your car again because it's defective and it won't pass the test. So anyway, just wondered if any of you have had this problem. If you have, maybe we need to get in touch with Ford and get something going here. All right, I'll give you another view of the car. And there you have it.